Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I am your host, Devin Poslusny, alongside Dave Poslusny. We have a short show, kinda, because we have Motorsport 60. We're going to talk about IndyCar. We're going to talk about Formula One, hopefully with Peter along. Worst case scenario, it'll just be Dave and I. I'll go to the NASCAR segment. Formula One, then we'll take a break. We'll go to the NASCAR segment, to the Points Championship, and then to the final lap. Here we go, Motorsport 60. 60-second timer is on. The Toyota Tundra 250. Here's the top five. NASCAR Capital Truck Series Toyota Tundra 250. Here's the top five. Cameron Haley finished 5th. Timothy Peters finished 4th. Johnny Sauter finished 3rd. Ryan Newman finished 2nd. And Matt Crafton pulled one out of the bag to win. They were running out of fuel there at the end, and
actually, he did just right, but go. So I want to see you make it in 60 for a change.
No, we already did it.
Oh, that's it? Oh, all right. I was really sad to see Eric Jones run out of gas, and then Saturday didn't work out any better for him.
No, I saw.
Or Sunday.
I saw him
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah,
I just keep getting confused because everything keeps rolling over because of weather and whatnot. But that was last week, right? Well, it was supposed to be a night race, and then they wanted,
Yeah. Anyways, now to IndyCar, the Angie's List Grand Prix of Indianapolis, the road course race, second annual race. Here's your top five. Finishing 5th was Charlie Kimball. Sebastian Bourdais finished 4th. Juan Pablo Montoya finished 3rd. Graham Rahal finished 2nd. And Will Power won the race. He dominated the race. We're going to talk about this real quick, because you guys actually did see the race, or he did at least.
Yeah, the Godfather did. I didn't.
Yeah, and while he's saying, I'm going to bring up what he's going to talk about.
Montoya's doing great, though. I'm glad to see he's actually in a happy place now.
He's back. So yeah, go ahead, talk about what you're going to talk about.
What do you want me to say? I did enjoy the race. It was really terrific, except that they have to come up with some sort of starting procedure.
Or better.
Last year they tried the standing start, and you've got a 6-wide track going down to 1 lane.
Well, you know what? These guys are professionals, though, and they should know better. They know what they're getting into.
They know how to get into each other. I'll say that. After that, though, it was a good race because.
Actually, you know what? I'm viewing that right now. What I'm seeing is that it's do or die, because if you don't get out there, then you get stuck in everybody else's
You get backed
mess.
off, yeah. But my answer, I think, would be that the turn 1 should be made wider.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you make turn 1 wider so that maybe 2 or 3 cars could go through together, they'll make a major difference.
Well, in all honesty, the way I look at it is, last year they had the standing start, they wrecked.
Right.
But that's only because one guy didn't go. And then after that standing start, they had a restart and it was fine. This year they try a rolling start, second year ever running on the road course. These guys are not familiar with it. As much as they've run practice laps, they're not used to running. Because if you watch these,
at one point it is 6 wide.
They're side by side.
I'm only seeing 4 wide, but
I don't know. But my point is next year when IndyCar, let's say they don't change it and they have a rolling start again, next year these guys are going to be fine because they're going to go back the night before and look at this and go, this is what went wrong. Let's not do that again.
But you also have to think about it, though, Devin. If you're not up front there, then you're caught up in whatever happens in the back or middle. So what I saw there was everybody was trying to get the front. They were trying to get the front so that they can be clear and clean through it.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the exact opposite thought of what you were saying. Me, personally, I'd probably back off, stay out of it, stay high, and then cut low underneath everybody and just breeze right through it.
Mm.
Therefore gaining the positions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's second year doing it, so next year when they do it again, they'll hopefully get it down. But
Yeah, I have to go with him. I'm thinking that they should probably widen that turn. At least make it 2 cars wide. It's not even 2 cars wide.
No, it isn't. It's literally 1 car wide.
That's just the line. The width itself is probably...
No, the width itself is pretty close to 1
curves.
car wide.
No, I know. If you look...
Well, what you need, Devin, what you need is an overhead shot. And you can literally see that the... See now that...
Yeah, those are curves, though. You
I
can
know.
see
The curb
cross
is right there, and then the inside is right
section.
there.
It's not like
By the
curbs
way,
like
the
what
inside
we're
of
used to,
that,
really.
the inside of that curb is the exit from the pits.
Mhm.
So you can't go into that.
Well, then it can't be much of a curb.
Look,
There.
this is
That there is the exit to the pit, is
Yeah,
what
but
you
look
show.
what they're going to.
Look, that's 2 cars. There's 3 cars right there.
Yeah, but look what they're going into.
there's
Right
Well,
there.
they're all, and
No, I
right
know.
there, now there,
It's
what
like a
do they
funnel.
look at? You
Basically,
look
No,
at
I
it's a
know
giant
that.
funnel.
one
I know
car
that.
on the grass and one car on the road.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, look, 2, still 2, still 2, still 2. It's wide enough for 2. These guys just need to work around the line.
Look
That's the issue.
carefully. That car on the outside there is not on the road, it's on the grass.
Yeah, because the line is one way. The track is wide enough for it, just the line is one way. These guys need to work on the line, because as soon as the restart went,
I don't see that at all. I'm sorry.
they're used to the running line. The racing line is set a certain way obviously at every track. You go to a
Agreed.
track for a road course, you have a certain line. That's what they were doing. They were trying to run the line, and it is a single car wide lane, but the track is wide enough for 2. They just need to work. They need to practice and work
On the
on it.
inside, on the outside, looks like there's a curb. A
On
lifted
the
curb.
outside is the curb from coming out of the pits.
No, that's the inside.
On the inside, I'm sorry.
But the curb, that can't be a curb. It's
well,
just
no,
a
it's not.
marker.
It's markers.
Because there's no way Indy cars are going to go over a curb coming out of the pits. It would be damaging
Well,
to the
you
car.
should have watched them bounce, boy. They were going over the curbs on the S's like crazy.
No, that I agree. But to do that to them coming out of the pits with fresh tires, that would be wrong.
Killer.
If that's the case, then it should be removed.
Hold on.
It was
Hey,
cool.
look, a map of New Hampshire.
And Rahal ran a very good race.
We're not gonna watch
He
this again.
actually closed in on
What's with the
the,
map?
the leader a couple times, but they never could quite catch him.
Hopefully this is
So I
okay.
said we can point out where we live.
Let's not.
A lot of passing during the race. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good race.
This is an updated map, but it gives you the general idea. The way they have the road course set up, and this is for your purposes, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen. Right about, wish I could draw on this, I can't. Right about here, you have the curbing, and it's made purposely a right angle because it's entertaining. But the way it's worked is it's wide enough for 2, just the racing line is not wide enough. So like when you have
I wish you could put a car up there because you could honestly see that the car is.
The video you just had on a minute ago showed that it went down to 1 wide.
See, this is a rough drawing of what the track is. It's wide enough for 2, but the line is made for 1. The racing line is made for 1.
Towards the end of there, you're not going to get 2 cars. Right about where you got that marker right now, you're not going to get 2 cars.
That's wide enough for 2, though.
Not really.
That,
The overhead shots that
Go
I
back
saw.
to the last view you just had.
this one?
I don't know.
Or the overhead shot?
No, not the one that was the one with cars.
I'm looking at one with cars.
Yes, I know.
See, look. Here's the restart. They actually... It's single...
Smartened up that time.
They single file. Oh, nah. They single filed out, but the track itself is wide enough for 2, 3 cars. Just the racing line itself isn't.
Well, I'm going to go with no way on the 3 cars, but
No, well-
possibly on 2. Because the last thing you showed before you went to that map showed them go around the corner where you actually had the full view of what they're going through. Well, stop jumping through it.
Like that.
No, like that plane.
Okay. We'll play then.
That is maybe 1.5 cars wide. You see guys in the grass and guys are barely passing them.
These guys, this track can handle sports cars, which are basically almost 2 times the size of these cars.
Huh?
Bigger. I mean, not 2 times the size,
That's
bigger.
not 2 times.
Wider?
Wider, yeah, and bigger.
They are wider.
This car
The
is
prototypes are
wider
wider.
and,
Wider.
and
That's-
stuff. than
Yeah,
a car.
that car never runs on the sports car track.
Yeah.
That car you just showed me there.
Yeah.
And
but what
that
I'm
never
A
runs.
prototype challenge car is a little wider than an Indy car and a little longer. And they run these corners beautifully on our start.
Well, then they've changed an awful lot from what I used to see.
Well, they vary in a big way. You gotta remember that the Corvette in that series is the same thing as on the street dimensionally. Actually, it's a little bit wider than the actual one on the street because it's got more flat fenders and whatnot. So they're pretty wide cars.
Hold on 1 second.
The big difference there is
They can
those
actually
cars can
push
get
each other.
into each other
They can
without
push each other as they're
wheel
going
hopping
through,
and
right?
whatnot.
Where these guys can't touch. If they touch,
Oh, they can.
something's flying.
Um,
As you can see, there was an awful lot flying at that. But it was a good race. I enjoyed it.
hopefully they show the start.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
So this is sports cars. See? They're
Okay.
panning out. That's 3 wide right there.
And
Okay, let's
go
go.
down.
Still, oh, well, that, look,
Well,
2 wide.
they're
One
forcing
guy-
each other.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
They have
That's
the
all.
ability to force each other, and they wrecked also. So that doesn't really give us any conclusive evidence that that turn is wide enough. I would have to go with the turn needs to be widened. Plain and simple. If I was one of the officials looking at this over and over again with different points of view like we just did, different vehicles like we just did, I would have to say, okay, we need to do something about that turn. It's kind of cut and dry.
Okay.
I mean, once they get going, it's a whole other story.
Oh, yeah,
Because
once
now
they get
you're-
going,
you're-
there's no
you've got some
problem.
separation and whatnot, and then nobody's going to be dumb enough to pass or try to pass in that turn.
Mm-hmm.
With these guys, if you do try to pass, you just get down on somebody's inside.
There they are. One
just
right
screw
behind
that
the
right
other
into
through
grass.
it.
Yeah, right here. One
Yeah,
right.
one right
the other.
behind the other. They
Look how
don't.
tight that is down.
They don't
That's
try.
pretty
Yeah,
tight.
that's very tight.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is the physical track itself is wide enough. Just the racing line, the racing groove is not.
Oh, I got you. What the hell happened? How did he get so smart?
I'm not
I
quite
think we took
sure.
him to too many races. I'll have to cut him off.
I'm sorry. This is what I eat, breathe, and sleep.
These guys are.
All I know is I can't believe it allowed us so late this year. Are you kidding me? I don't even know how I'm going to survive that.
September, you mean?
No, middle of July.
Oh, yeah. I don't either. Good luck on that.
You do realize what heat does to me, right? When it's like I'm just stuck in it with nowhere to go.
Maybe this year
That's
we'll actually
pretty brutal.
we'll actually get the lights. No, probably not. Anyways, I don't know. My opinion, track is wide enough for 2 cars. Just the racing groove itself is not. That's the way I look at it. That's my opinion.
Okay.
From my-
and what would you suggest to repair that issue so that this doesn't happen continually? Because now this is 2 years in a row.
Well, first of all, last year their standing start didn't make it past the start-finish line, and they were in caution before they got to turn 1. So this is actually the first year
They still had problems last year in turn 1.
No, before the start-finish line, though, last year. They were under caution before they got to turn 1. Because if you think
They-
about it, the start-finish line at Indianapolis is not in the dead center. They have that entire straightaway to slow down before they get to turn 1 on the road course.
Hmm.
So before they got to turn 1, they were like, okay,
It's
and they
racing
let
though.
off.
Who slows down? Slow down is not exactly.
Correct
That's,
term.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
something that race drivers like to do.
Okay.
Anyhow, all right, enough of this.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
We've all got our opinions. I'm going to agree with him, and we've been doing it a lot longer than you.
Anyways, I think Peter Long did not get back to me, so I actually think we're going to have to go on the show without him. I hate to do it. Here we go. Spanish Grand Prix. Top 5, finishing 5th was Kimi Räikkönen. Räikkönen?
I was supposed to say, here we go with the names.
Räikkönen.
I think you're pretty close, if not.
Yeah, I think you're right on it.
Valtteri Bottas finished 4th, Sebastian Vettel finished 3rd, Lewis Hamilton finished 2nd, and Nico Rosberg won the race. I was kind of hoping Peter did get on because that would be an interesting topic to go over because the Mercedes battle continues between Hamilton and Rosberg. And
yeah.
usually it's the other way around, but yep. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. Oh, my battery's actually gaining time. Okay. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to have your NASCAR review, the SpongeBob SquarePants 400, and we're going to have the Points Championship, and then we're going to talk about Final Lap, and that'll be the show. So until we see each other on the other side of the break, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Before we move on to the NASCAR swingman, oh my god,
segment.
Segment. We just like to say that our cameraman has every time that this series races, he always brings it up, and I always make in my head I try to make it a point to bring it up on the show, but it slips. But to add to our open wheel segments, IndyCar and Formula One, we're going to try to now start covering Formula E. For those of you not familiar with Formula E, it's basically Formula One racing, just a lighter car with electric. Yeah, it's
all electric. Yeah,
There's no
not really
gas
that much
backup,
lighter.
nothing to it.
Yeah,
They're almost identical to the Formula Ones.
So they raced this past weekend at Monaco, a modified track, which we actually just watched highlights, and it was a Monaco track.
Very modified
yes.
Monaco track.
And we don't have the top 5 right now, and I don't really want to even attempt those names because you think it's bad with Supercross and Formula One. But starting next week, if they have
He's bad with Supercross and Formula One. Anyway.
starting next week with if they have a race next week, we'll start covering it. Actually, I don't even know
When the next race is.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. At the beginning of your research.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so now moving to the NASCAR segment. Here we go. The SpongeBob SquarePants 400. Oh my god, I love the name of this race.
I gotta tell you, I did love the name of the race, and everybody loves SpongeBob. I'm sorry, adults, children, all above. It is a great show. I thought it was interesting that they decided to do a sponsorship, but that was the most gaudy trophy I have ever seen in my life. Did you see it? Oh my god!
It was a bottom with the SquarePants.
Dude,
And it
it had a
had
big old smile with the buck teeth, and it was just like, oh my lord.
Well, did you see the pre-race stage that they had? It
No.
was like the regular stage that they have, but on the top was it was about this tall, and it was the top of SpongeBob's face with the eyes, and he was like,
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I saw
over.
that.
I'm like, are you serious? Nickelodeon really put some money into this.
They're paying for the sponsorship. They're going to get all the plugs they can, and you can't blame them.
Yeah, exactly. And
Did you note that on Sunday there was a SpongeBob marathon on Nickelodeon?
Mm-hmm.
All day long with
Yeah.
SpongeBob?
And it makes sense because if you're a kid who's, let's say, a couple years older than Kaylin, and you love SpongeBob, you come across a commercial, SpongeBob SquarePants 400, you might be like, Mom, Mom, Mom! And the mom might be like, oh, great. Like, she may...
Now I got to watch a race.
Yeah, but they'll put it on and the kid might get hooked. And next thing you know it, there you go.
Yeah.
Another repeat
Another
of
race
me
fan.
of starting at 4 or 5, and now here we are 10 years later, and I'm still hooked. So, I don't know. Let's go over the top 5 real quick, and then we'll talk about the weekend in racing. Here's the top 5. Finishing 5th was Joey Logano. Jeff Gordon finished 4th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 3rd. Kevin Harvick finished 2nd. And Jimmy Johnson won the race. I did not see any of the race because I was in Vermont. But I heard that I got home at back to the camper at like 11. And apparently I could have caught the last half of the race.
Yeah, it was pretty late.
So I didn't realize that.
That's actually one of my notes was, wow, this is one late race.
I didn't realize that because...
I figured they were gonna roll it over. That's why I thought that they rolled it over. That's right, because they actually, under technicality, it was Sunday.
It was, yes, it was Sunday.
See, but the thing is...
But you have to remember, too, that they were the Midwest, so it's not as late as it is here for us.
Right.
Yeah, and also you had Mother's Day, so they didn't really want the drivers racing
True.
on Mother's Day. You also had other sports going on, basically. You had basketball, you had hockey that could have interfered.
You had Formula One.
And, Formula One.
Sunday.
You had other stuff going on that NASCAR kind of went, okay, we have lights here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they probably don't have a curfew.
Well, it was a
they're in the
partial
middle of
night race
nowhere.
anyway, so
Yeah.
roll with it. But man, did it pour. I never would have thought they would have got that race going.
I didn't think they were going to do it either when I saw that rain coming down. That was horrendous.
Jeez.
As soon as I saw that happening, I'm like, this is wrapped up. And I went and started watching something else, and I kept going back. Finally, I'm like, nah, they're going to call this thing. And then all of a sudden, I got a notification on Facebook from, who was it? Matt Kenseth, saying drivers have been called back to their cars. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm like, what? But you have to think about it. Where they actually were, it was only really 8:30 at night.
Or 9:30, right? Aren't they an hour?
It's 2 hours, isn't it?
I thought they were an hour back.
It's only an hour.
So
It's only an hour.
I don't know how the time zones work.
Yeah,
How about that?
How long? Hold on a second. How far back is Vegas?
Vegas is 3.
Okay,
3.
Good. Okay.
That's the next time zone.
Hawaii?
Just making 6. 6, right?
Nope.
12.
Yeah, right, 12 hours. Yeah, Japan isn't even 12 hours. No, Hawaii's only 4.
Okay, I didn't know that. It takes
It's
6 hours to get
it's
there.
an hour
From,
outside of California's.
it takes 6 hours to get from here to California, then 6 hours to.
I'll tell you though, 4 hours will mess you up though. You fly out
It
there
takes-
and then you get used to it, and then you come back, you're like, well, jet lag.
3 hours messed me up. When we went to Vegas. I woke up at 5 a.m. there. I'm like, why is everyone still sleeping? And I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock in New Hampshire. Okay, I guess I'll go
Everybody
back
was
to
still
bed.
sleeping because they were all adults and they were hammered from the night before. That's Vegas.
Anyways,
One thing I'd like to say is I'd like to give NASCAR a really heavy pat on the shoulder for cleaning that track.
Yeah,
They did a spectacular job.
Oh, the Titan. Yeah, Titans.
The
is
Titans.
good, yeah.
But I saw, for the first time I saw, in the pits, they have the guys will have sponges on like a broom. And I saw one man standing on the broom and another man pulling it, and waves of water coming off the front of this.
If you were watching that, that's because they were pushing it towards a smaller Air Titan.
Right, they
Who
were.
was coming along and they were pushing the water
They were
out to
pushing
them
the water out
so
to
that they would
them,
take it out of the
It
pit.
was amazing.
wasn't that the?
But I do have to give NASCAR a lot of credit on that.
That was the street sweeper one, right? Not the Air Titan itself.
It's
It was
actually,
the-
no, it was a pickup truck, pickup style Air Titan with its own unit and tank in the back of the bed. And it had like a giant sweeper that's off the back with hoses going up to the...
Yeah, that's the newer Air Titans. That's their entire fleet.
Oh, okay. I thought they were still running those big...
No.
Didn't they run the big units?
No,
on that
no, I
truck?
didn't see
They were
any of the
small
big
ones?
units. It was
Well, they have the big units still, but they don't bring them because it's more cost
Well, it's like I
effective.
said, I honestly did go away from it thinking that wasn't going to happen. And I did catch some of it, but it was like... Because I went and checked and I'm watching them go around in the downpour. I'm like, this is never going to happen.
Anyways,
What was that wrong?
trucks raced Friday night. We already went over the top 5. First of all, qualifying was insane.
For the truck train?
Yeah, did you catch it?
Yeah.
Eric Jones. Eric Jones posts the time. Then they go out in a long line.
New track record, no.
Yep.
that's what-
No, hold on. Jones posts the time. They go out in a long line. Within seconds, Crafton, no Jones. Jones got it. Like the announcers went Crafton, then Jones, and then like, wait a minute. Okay, it's actually Jones because it bounced so much. It was awesome.
This
In
kid's
my
a
opinion.
discovery of Kyle Busch's, and he
Kyle Busch is running with it.
another Kyle Busch without a doubt. This kid's gonna be. I said this about Kyle Busch many years ago when we were in Daytona, and I'm saying about Eric Jones now. Watch this kid; he's definitely gonna come fast.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch is kind of like, okay, you're
Yeah, he's got him
coming
in the
with
right
me.
spot. Yeah.
I want you in my 18 car, and
And sadly, Sunday was having another great day, but that was all him too, because they actually did show.
I saw
It
the
looked
play.
at first like he got tapped behind,
Mhm.
but he was all on his own.
Eric Jones.
And that car just lost it, and he just was not able to gain control. And a little while later in the race, Jimmy Johnson did the exact same thing, but they showed the difference between 18-year-old and experienced champion, because Johnson, and I got to give him all the credit in the world, held that car, and it was like you were watching him go through the shifter, forward, reverse, the whole kit and caboodle, the wheel this way, the wheel that way, straighten out and just kept going. It was like, you got to be kidding me. Almost the exact same loss as Eric Jones had. But Eric Jones, once he lost it, it was basically a matter of, ooh, gone. It was like nothing there.
I got no idea.
But that's the difference, though. Eric Jones will learn that.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch probably would have done the same thing as Johnson.
Yeah.
It's just experience. It's a matter of live, you learn, and he definitely learned, and he was not a happy camper during the interview either.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw a replay. He hit the wall, and it's like, it looks like he barely hit it.
Well, you see my notes. Eric Jones having a great day, and then just as I'm typing day, he wrecks. And then I just type, well, he was. Because it's pretty much what it comes down to. He was.
But Truck series. We'll finish up that. 5 to go. Oh, Eric Jones, wiggle it. And he's off the pace. He's out of gas. And it's like,
it was. Well, it wasn't just him
no.
though, but that blew.
yeah, and then another one. What was it? Suarez.
Yep.
Who else was it?
I think there were.
Oh, Tyler Reddick, wasn't it?
I think there were a total of 4 that ran out of gas.
Yeah, but up at the front, I think it was Jones, Reddick, and Suarez.
Well, once Jones was out, Crafton pretty much had it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a game over thing, and then they were talking about how he's going to run out of gas, but he didn't.
Yeah, because Crafton actually played it right. He kind of conserved, staying back, whereas Jones is like, I'm running away, and next thing you know...
Again, lack of experience.
I
Crafton's
was
been
just
doing
going
it
to
a lot
say,
longer.
again, it's experience.
And you know, Jones's crew chief was probably like, you need to just let it up a little bit. Take it slow. And actually, I do believe they did talk about it. It was Darryl Waltrip said it a couple times, where I keep hearing on Jones's radio, the crew chief is telling him to back it up, take it easy, you got this lead, take it easy, and then ultimate failure.
Yeah, and my mom was like, we're watching the truck race, she's like, why are they wiggling around? I'm like, because the fuel pickup is on the inside,
Oh, as soon as I saw that, I
Where
was so pissed.
where the gas is actually on the outside from the
thank you.
G-forces.
5 to go. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
that's what I typed.
And it was funny, they're like, as soon as they said, he might be running out of gas, they go to a back straight and you see it, it's like, nice, you jinxed him, nice. And as soon as you say it, he runs out of gas.
No, he was told to begin with that he didn't have the gas to make it.
Yeah.
Several of them were, actually. A couple of them made it, even though they were told.
Yeah. And then Crafton wins. Congratulations, Matt Crafton.
Yep.
To the Cup Series, I'll let you take this one because I didn't catch any of it, other than quick highlights.
Well, it was one late race for us on the East Coast, that's for sure. I'm not exactly sure what time it ended, but I typed something in here. Live at 12:55 a.m. Last minute strategies with 9 to go were absolutely crazy. I added the absolutely crazy, but it was
Yeah, we get it.
crazy. I would have thought that anybody who didn't take tires wouldn't have stood a chance. Of course, after the race, and this just goes to show how crazy race fans are, I was up to 4 o'clock in the morning just reading what people were hitting Facebook with on social media with about how the race went and all the above. And they, I am not a big Johnson fan. As a matter of fact, most of the time I pray he doesn't win. It's nothing personal. I like all drivers. He is incredible. And all of the stuff that social media was saying about cheating and whatnot, it's like, get over yourself already, will you people? Because he won. There was, what cheating? Prove to me any kind of cheating, and I might actually listen. To me, you're just a bunch of whiners. It was like, just let it go. It happened. He did it. He pulled it off. Actually, one guy even said he did the burnout and blew out the rear tires to cover up the evidence of the cheating. To cover up the evidence of the cheating.
What cheating?
What? It's like, yeah, he blew his tires on purpose. It's because his tires were gone, so as soon as he did a burnout, they blew. That happens all the time. He took a chance. He won. Cut and dry. Not to mention the fact that, I got here, congratulations to the Lowe's team again. Johnson's 73rd Cup win. 3rd win this season. 200th top 5. 300th top 10. Also 22 wins on 1.5 mile tracks. And I believe that's a record. As a matter of fact, right after I typed it, one of the major announcers said, that is a record.
Mm.
So he's now holding the record for that too. That is an incredible track record. And come on. I mean, realistically speaking, like paying off NASCAR and all this, will you people seriously think about what you're saying? That's like I said, I am not a huge Johnson fan myself. But, really? The guy's incredible. Plain and simple. You don't become a multi-time champion by cheating. It doesn't happen. It's non-existent. It's not really a problem. This isn't, what is it called? Deflategate? which is really stupid because that seems to be taking up more news than anything else right now.
Let's not get into that. That could go on for hours between the three of us. Anyways.
Yeah, I got other here, but it's not worth talking about. I was a little upset by the fact that they didn't air the anthem. They were busy interviewing some baseball player from a game before the race, and I gotta be frank, really, that's more important. But like I said, I'll let it go.
Whatever. All right. Trying to save battery. That's why I just turned the screen off. Let's go to the points championship here. Here's the winners. Hold on. People were saying that Johnson cheated. Does this mean I cheated?
No, you actually called it right on the money.
I
I was kind of pissed actually. I saw you would pick Johnson. I'm like, damn it.
Here's the winners. I had Jimmy Johnson. Art had Carl Edwards. Dave had Eric Jones. I almost said Kyle Busch. Justin had Kurt Busch. Trooper had Dale Earnhardt Jr. Joe had Jeff Gordon. And Kristen had Harvick. I'd like to say...
I might have had that if you didn't wreck.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to all my fellow RH Points Championship people for picking Johnson in each of the categories because they made my life a lot easier. Johnson, 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 and Johnson. So here's the overall results. I had Johnson for the win, meaning I actually got 15 points. Art got 0. Dave got
I just
0.
want to make a note. I didn't pick Johnson.
I said Jones.
No, I didn't pick Johnson at all in any column.
I know. I'm saying, look, Johnson.
I know everybody else did, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was looking afterwards. I'm like, nothing. Anyways, Justin got 3rd place equaling 6 points. Trooper got 5th place equaling 2. Joe got 4th place equaling 4. And Kristen got 2nd place equaling 8. Here's the standings. Come on, laptop dying. Can we move along, please? I am now leading with 80 points. Art is in second, 16 points back. Dave and Justin are tied for third with 24 points back.
2 weeks in a row for us, isn't it? Being tied?
Mm-mm.
No?
Yeah.
We were real close, though.
Mm-hmm. Trooper is in fifth, 35 points back. Joe is in sixth, 42 points back. And Kristen is in seventh, 45 points back. The picking order, by the way, for this week will go Kristen, Joe, Trooper, Justin, Dave, Art, me. Since Dave is the senior, so to speak, of the two, you get priority over Justin.
Cool.
So, just so you know.
You're going to have to pick the winner this week to get back to him. It's like I said last week, he finally figured out how to do it. He finally figured out how to cheat.
What the cheat?
It's what they call,
He got the whole year last year.
Being the top is not easy at all.
No, because you're left with nobody to pick.
You're left with practically
I
nobody
said that to Gene when I was picking. I'm looking going, only 2 other people beyond me have to pick, and I feel bad for them, but I didn't even think about Johnson.
I know.
As you can see, I had the chance to grab Johnson, but...
You guys left...
And I probably should have, based on the track, too.
You guys left it wide open. I was looking at it going, okay, if I put him here and put him there... Hold on a minute. Johnson, first place. I'll take him, thank you. Unbelievable. Alright, let's look at the final lap here before my laptop dies. Supercross is off till October. IndyCar is May 24th. Formula 1 is May 24th. Rallycross, May 31st. Haven't even started their season yet. Tuesday Night Sports Car Championship is May 30th. The Truck Series will run Friday night, 8:30 on Fox Sports 1. The Xfinity Series will race Sunday, 2 p.m. there at Iowa on Fox Sports 1. And the Cup Series will race Saturday, 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Friday is the Sprint Showdown, and Saturday is the All-Star Race.
Oh, so do we have a 3-way weekend coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Just
Those are the ones I like the most.
Yeah, NASCAR weekend, or NASCAR show next week, unless Formula E is racing. Which, if they are, they ruin our NASCAR show. Anyways.
How do they ruin the NASCAR show?
I'm saying next week we can have like a pure NASCAR show, and if they are on, then we don't have a pure NASCAR show.
I'm sure we'll get over it.
Yeah, exactly. The three designated series here, IndyCar, Formula 1, and NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, those are our Super Weekend 2015 races, which are Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
Which we won't be live streaming this year.
That was supposed to be a 3-day party. That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life for adults. Maybe when I was 18 I can go for a 3-day party, but really? It's camping and all that. A friend of mine has a very large piece of property. Fortunately right down the road from my house, so I ain't camping.
You're just walking?
Huh?
You're
Oh, I
gonna
could if I wanted to.
I'll take
That's
the
a little
segue.
bit distant, but
I'll take the segue. Anyways, so yeah, those are the 3 topics. Next Saturday for the All-Star race, we're going to be covering the race on Twitter, but here's the only catch. I might have like 4 different things happening on Saturday night, so I'm going to have to talk to you after the show about Saturday night. You can kind of put 2 and 2 together there.
not really, no.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
it's okay for sure.
Anyways, yeah, I won't go into the details. Next weekend, though, we are going to,
If you're going to ask me to do that twit thing again, I can't stand that. Pound / you can't just type like a normal person.
anyways.
Oh, I'm sorry, hashtag, not pound.
Next Saturday, we're going to be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for U.S. Legends Car Racing.
With
Which,
hashtag and @ right?
Yeah.
You have to use that for like everything you do.
primarily hashtag. Anyways, so yeah, we'll be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway next week for Legends Car Racing, triple header, road course, mini oval, and yeah. So I
And
don't,
chances are, by the way, that 3A party, Saturday night is probably the only time I'm going to go. Just so you know.
on,
So that might not work out.
on Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
saying
the Memorial Day
we're
weekend.
looking at this Saturday,
Ah,
the All-Star race. No, Super Weekend.
half the times I don't even know what the date is. I have to look at my computer. Oh, it's only the 11th.
Anyways,
I know your grandmother's birthday is the 23rd. That's the next thing I need to remember. Beyond that,
okay.
that's not much.
Got it. Anyways, so that's going to do it for this week's show. The Formula One segment might be extended. Peter and I might do a separate segment later on this week because I really do want to talk to him about the Mercedes battle.
Not tonight, though.
No.
Okay, no.
Well, haven't heard anything back, so not tonight. Happy. Anyways, so until you see each other next week for a full NASCAR show, have a good night, everybody, and we will see you then.
We're out.